According to some Republicans on Capitol Hill, Donald Trump might not actually be the Republican nominee in the 2020 presidential election. Now, there are several factors here. Some Republicans think that possibly this Bob Mueller special prosecutor investigation might actually take Donald Trump out of office and prevent him from running a campaign in 2020. But I think the real reason Republicans do not want to go ahead and admit that Trump will be their nominee, especially as Senator Susan Collins recently kind of waffled on, is the fact that Republicans, the hardcore, the old school establishment Republicans, are hoping to primary Donald Trump in 2020. In fact, recent polling actually suggests that John Kasich actually tests better in polls compared to Donald Trump for the potential Republican primary. Now, Kasich, again, I've said this about Mike Pence, and I'll say it about every Republican to go ahead and scoop them all into one big lump here. There's no difference in policy, okay? That has never been the question. The same horrible policies we've seen Donald Trump pursue are the same horrible policies we'd get from Mike Pence or John Kasich or Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio or Paul Ryan. They are all one and the same, and they're all operating off of the same playbook. The only thing we might possibly hope for is having somebody slightly more rational with their finger on that nuclear button. That is the only difference at this moment, and perhaps we get somebody who understands that you can't go around the planet making a jackass of yourself when you're the sitting president of the United States. That's about the only difference we would get, folks. We saw 8 years of George W. Bush, 4 years of his father, and 8 years of Ronald Reagan. It's the same failed policies every single time. So don't get too excited when you see that Republicans won't commit to Donald Trump being their 2020 nominee, because it doesn't mean that they're going to switch policies or switch paths. They're just going to repackage it in a better wrapper, in this specific instance, most likely John Kasich, but possibly Mike Pence or even Nikki Haley. They're going to try to make their horrible ideas more attractive to the American public. They don't think that Donald Trump and his policies are a problem. They think that Donald Trump and his personality is the problem. But what's really pissing the American public off are his policies. In fact, the hardcore Trump supporters, the thing they like most about Donald Trump is his abrasive, disgusting personality. So you're not going to win if you just simply repackage it in another wrapper. However, that hasn't stopped the Democrats from taking this, and they're already doing opposition research, expecting to run against either Mike Pence or Nikki Haley for the 2020 election. And it is worth pointing out that they're doing opposition research, trying to dig up dirt on these people, rather than trying to come up with viable policies that the public might actually like. So, in essence, the Democrats are gearing up to run another failed 2016 campaign in the year 2020 against whatever Republican they decide to throw against Donald Trump. This whole thing at this point is an absolute disaster. Republicans don't know what they're going to do. Democrats have no idea on how they're going to forge a path forward. And meanwhile, the rest of the country is sitting here waiting for someone to step up, offer us some decent policies for once, so that we can say, you know what? Party identity aside, this person clearly has our best interests at heart. And I know when I say that, a certain name probably pops into a lot of people's heads. And yeah, there's one or two folks out there who fit that criteria, but that's about it. When it comes to establishment Democrats and establishment Republicans at this point, all they care about is getting that victory, not about the policy. If you're thinking about subscribing to our channel, I strongly encourage you to do that. But if you're not thinking about subscribing, I would encourage you to start thinking about it, and then once you're thinking about it, actually go and do it. You can see the subscribe button right there on the screen, or if you're watching on a different platform, go to youtube.com/theringofFire.